Goodness to you, it's Sporty King. And you know I always say goodness. Why? Because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening. But isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? Welcome to GLUE Wednesday, where even though I'll be reconstructing a message from a couple of years ago, I still must remind you that Wednesday was often called Hump Day, because so many people saw the work week as Monday to Friday, and it was considered the middle of the week and therefore the hump to get over. Yet, I redefine Wednesday as the middle of a traditional 7-day week, regardless of when you work. So it's the day that keeps the weekend and the week beginning together. Therefore, it's the glue, and should be seen as the glue, G-L-U-E, God's love undoes everything. Not that his love will tear things apart, but that it will undo the tears of sadness and brighten your day. Today, I'm reconstructing a June 23rd message from what was called the GAIN series. And that's the glue analogies in numbers. What I did was each week I introduced what I called the GAIN pledge, which always had a new heading that incorporated the word gain. The week prior to this reconstruction was role gain, as we talked about our choosing of messengers and being chosen as a messenger. I followed the pattern of the volunteer numbers using my poetry and inspirational sayings. In other words, I had people volunteer numbers because it was the GAIN numbers series. And so they gave me the numbers and I used my poetry and inspirational sayings to construct the message. This reconstruction is going to be called the Better Gain, and I'll be sharing some messenger-type blessings that multiply and keep us smiling toward being our better selves. Now, the June 2023 numbers were volunteered by Roger Carroll, who gave me 48, Daphne, who gave me 2, and Victor, who gave me 3. My guiding scripture was Psalm 23:6. Surely your goodness and unfailing love will pursue me all the days of my life, and I will live in the house of the Lord. For the creation of my message, it just keeps getting better. Now, to put it together, I first used Daphne's 2 and Victor's 3 to get 23, which, when multiplied, gave me 6. And that's why I chose Psalm 23:6. See, sometimes creativity doesn't have to be that deep. It just has to be creative or imaginative. And I will open with a wonderful smile connected to that scripture called Surely Goodness. And this is actually a smile that I included when I was sending out my monthly Golden Brick Road fun letter. If you're not receiving your free subscription, send me your email address and let's reconstruct that situation. Just send me an email request to unclesporty@gmail.com. Don't drop a message here in the thread saying, yeah, include me, Sporty. I need you to email me, because since I use a mailing list, once I have your email address in as you having sent me something and me responding to you, your filter will let my email come through. Surely Goodness. Timmy was a 5-year-old boy. His mother loved him very much. A worrier, she was concerned when he started kindergarten about his walking to school. She walked him to school for a couple of days, but one day he told his mother that he did not want her to walk him to school every day. He wanted to be like the big boys. Well, she had an idea how to handle it. She asked the neighbor, Mrs. Goodness, to follow her son surreptitiously to school at a distance that he would not likely notice, but close enough to keep a watch on him. Mrs. Goodness said that since she was up early with her toddler anyway, it would be a good way for them to get some exercise as well. So the next day, Mrs. Goodness and her little girl, Marcy, set out behind Timmy as he walked to school with another boy. She did this for the whole week. As the boys walked and chatted, kicking stones and twigs, Timmy's friend noticed that a lady was following them every day, all week. Finally, he asked Timmy, "Have have you noticed that lady following us? Do you know her? Timmy nonchalantly replied, yeah, I know who she is. Well, who is she? Timmy's friend said. That's Shirley Goodness, Timmy said. Shirley Goodness? Who the heck is she and why is she following us? Timmy said, well, every night my mom makes me say the 23rd Psalm because she worries about me so much. And the Psalm says, Shirley Goodness and Marcy will follow me all the days of my life. So I guess I'll just have to get used to it. Now, I would say that actual goodness and mercy have been following me since I dropped out of Ithaca College in December 1974 after a successful 3 semesters of majoring in social life. The groundbreaking challenge was that social life was not an accredited course on their visual curriculum. Yet first, I graduated from Cranwell High School for boys after earning and fulfilling a 3-year scholarship from a program still around called ABC, and that stands for A Better Chance. Look it up if you have middle schoolers. As well as high school, so you don't have to go your full 3 or 4 years in high school. Now, I would eventually work at the Wall Street Journal for 18 years, going through 7 promotions and 8 job titles before putting Daphne's 2 in front of a 0 to 20 years later, register myself as an entrepreneur as R. King and Associates. And after moving to Charlotte in 2010, I legally upgraded to Top Line LLC. Now, I just kept getting better. Because subtracting 10 from Roger Carroll's 48, it was at 38 that I more consciously accepted God into my life. And like most people, I was always good at believing in God and crediting Him for the good things that happened in my life. At 38, I recognized how I had finally learned to listen and speak to Him and see how and what He was doing in my life. And more importantly, I realized He wasn't just doing it for me. One year while I was serving as co-chair for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boys and Girls Club of Chicago at our Legacy Awards banquet, I was asked to give the invocation. I opened by saying, "It's me again, God, Sporty." And I learned that several of my fellow board members held their breath, wondering what I was going to say next. But I continued. And I'm here, and I'm blessed to be here with over 300 other people who know you by first name, who you know by first name. It's me again, God, Sporty. And I'm blessed to be here with over 300 other people who you know by first name. I've used that opening invocation loads of times since then. Because what I realize is that God isn't just doing things for me. He's doing things to help us all keep it together. So gain and let your life get better. We need you to make it happen. And even as Shirley, Goodness, and Marcy follow us, our days are numbered on this earth. And we don't want to hump. We want to find ways to keep it together. God's love does just that. So thank you for joining me on what was today a reconstructed GLUE message. And remember, you can use my book starting today to reconstruct some of my inspirational messages and smile, making them your own. Each page gives an inspirational thought, then has room at the bottom for you to write your reaction. In the process of writing your reaction, you could be writing your own book of inspirational thoughts. You'll find that at my store through the QR code, where you can also sign up to receive my free monthly fun letter, The Golden Brick Road. Where as we close out Fun Don't You Get Weary, you'll find out that I've named this month Mirth. I'm Sporty King. God bless you and have a wonderful day. And a great week. Peace.